People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and my soaps can be purchased at people.etsy.com. And I have to tell you, God is good. A while back, I was having an issue with some bills. You know, summer vacation, I'm a school bus driver. The cash wasn't where I'm used to. And I said a prayer, God answered the prayer, the bill got paid. But since then, the blessings have not stopped being bestowed upon me. And even though I just paid rent today, I still have money left over for the next bill. God is good all the time, y'all. But then I got to thinking about what have I done with my summer, which is something I do every year anyway. It's like everything you do in life, you do for happiness or for service, and then you reflect on what you've done. Today is August the 2nd. It's the kickoff meeting was today. The route viewing is next week. Dry runs are next week. Then back to work. And people at the meeting, and that was like a big old family reunion, they were going, well, what'd you do with your summer? I said, I made soap. To which the average response was, like, it went in, it circulated around, it didn't connect, and then it went right back out. Because some of my friends, their idea of the perfect summer vacation, I'm going to the mall, I'm staying at the mall, I'm not leaving the mall. And then the next day they go back to the mall. And that's fine if you're a mall type person. I can't stand malls personally. If I could order it online and have it sent to my door, I'm good. You know, I don't like the walking, the just mass of people. Look back on a couple of videos. You know, I have an issue with malls. And I really have an issue with food places because they never get my order right. Then when they find out I have food allergies, they want to give me that, you know, the whole attitude thing, you know. And if I'm paying you for a service, I expect a service. Which is why when someone pays me for my soaps, I get them out as quickly as possible. When I create them with the best ingredients possible. I use distilled water. I don't just go to the faucet, so forth and so on. But anyway, that brings me back to I make soap. I didn't go out of town, unless you count going over to Norwood, which is a town that's connected to Cincinnati that's, you know, 50 feet across the street, to go to the store to get some more shortenings or whatever, or oil, going out of town. But I didn't go out of town or travel. I didn't go to the casinos. I didn't go to the malls. I made soap. In fact, I just figured out, okay, a couple of videos back, you hear me saying, I seem to have run out of curing boxes. I can't make any more soap until I sell some of the soap I have, which has happened because God's in the blessing business. But at some point, I got to thinking, how did I run out of curing boxes? I made a whole bunch of these things, okay? I even have a video on how I made the boxes, because a lot of my friends have storage problems too. It's like you're making something that's good for the skin that other people want as well as you, and you tend to sell your overflow. And shelving is a problem because you got to have a shelf just for the supplies. You got to have a space to cure your soaps, so forth and so on. And, you know, when you live in small places like, you know, a little 2-bedroom house or whatever, you don't necessarily have a soap lab like, you know, you see at a factory or whatever. So I made these boxes and even showed how I made the boxes, and the thought of running out of these boxes was like impossible because I made a whole bunch of them. But what I didn't realize is from the last day of school, which was May the 21st, till today, which is August the 2nd, I've made 23 batches of soap. At first I thought it was 22, but I got to looking at my book. This is my recipe book, and it has a cure date on each recipe I made. Well, on the 20th, day before the last day of school, I made a batch of phase 3. The cure date was 5/20. I made cashmere on the 27th. The cure date was May the 27th. And then I made Swirled Sunset. Cure date is 6/12. Shower Perk Up 6/16. Red Currants was cured on 6/23, made on 5/23. Goats, didn't make that one, but I wrote down the date that I have the recipe in here. Yo-Goats, I made a batch of it, 5-pound batch in fact, on 5/26. It cured 7/7/13. Bubblegum was 6/15. Fruit Loops was 2 days later, so the cure dates is 7/7 and 7. Well, right after it. I put down 7/24 because the batch was kind of, sometimes you get a thick batch and sometimes you have one that has more moisture. I give the ones with more moisture more time, so I wrote down 7/24 on that one. The 7-pound cake was 6/5. Dandelion Deviation was 6/1. Some of them were already in my soap calculator that I typed in when I did it, and then when I got a chance, I went back and wrote it in my journal, so some of the dates are just a little bit behind each other. My modes was written down on 6/11. That's not a recipe. Lakea's Face, somebody specially requested that, so I went on ahead and made a bigger batch of my face soap. That was on the 1st of June. And then the soap batch, the soap pops, or the birthday bash soaps, the first one was made on 6/14 with a cure date of 7/18. Then the next one was made on the 19th with a cure date of the 19th of July. Batch 3 was made on the 20th. Batches 4 and 5 was made on the 23rd and the 25th. The 4th of July soap was made 6/27/13. And at the time, I didn't realize it was a hot process or C-pop soap, which I now know how to do, but it would have been done on July the 4th if I had known that, but instead I cold processed it, and it didn't cure until 7/27. And because it was after the 4th of July, I renamed it American Goddess. When I listed it, 2 of them sold in 7 minutes. And I've already sold 2 more. So there's only 3 of those left, so go get them while they're available. Kiss and Tell I made on the 8th. It won't be done until 8/8/13. Then, let's see, Master Batch. No cure date, so that means I haven't made that yet. The laundry soap. Now, this one's tricky. Technically, I count that as 2, because the laundry soap was wrote down on 7/12. The coconut soap that I made for it was made on the 12th. Waited 24 hours for that to set up. Then on the 13th, I made the laundry soap. But since, even though it's 2 processes, I made 1 product, I count that as 1. So, from the 13th instead of the 12th. Then baby powder was made on the 18th. It was a C-pop soap, so it did cure rather quickly. Oh, can't even say the name of this soap out loud. This is the one that's a special project. I got down the ingredients I'm going to use. I'm still working on the heart-shaped swirl. That part's no mystery. And I don't have the scent yet. Excuse me. I do have the colors, but I'm not going to even say the name of that soap, because the person that will, or persons that will get this soap, they know I'm up to something, because, well, she's my BFF and she knows me, but she don't know what yet. And since it is a gift, it's like, anyway, You Sexy Thing You was made 7/23. It will finish curing on the 24th of August. That's a hair moisturizer, not soap, so we go right past that recipe. Fresh Cut Roses on 7/26. It will be done 27th of August. Black Soap Ideals. Okay, this is a recipe that I wrote down. All black soaps have these 3 constituents: tweaked regionally, and then I have the ideas for how I'm going to tweak it, because I'm not going to use shea butter in mine because I'm allergic to shea. But since shea is a ingredient that's added when available, it is not part of the actual recipe, and it's tweaked by region. So this region, I'm not African per se to make African black soap, so I'm making African American black soap, and I'm going to tweak it for what's regional to me, and that's going to be mango butter, more than likely. Anyway, Mango Papaya 2 was made on 7/31, and will finish curing August the 31st. I think I wrote down August, 7/31 be August 31. I think I wrote down September the 15th just because it was a little wet, and then I double dipped it, and I'm going to give it an extra cure date. But that is batch number 23. That's the one that I double dipped with the micas on top in a heavy layer with the orange and the gold and the green, and you know, it smells amazing. It looked even better, even though it wasn't a swirl the swirl I had planned was something like this, and what I got was swirls and whirls, and it was just fun. But that's 23 soaps in the 8 weeks I've been off school, and I usually make a batch of soap a week, which would be 52 batches a year. So if you go by 52 batches a year, I'm already over 52, because before school let out, I made, 2 batches of soap for my church. I made Roses for Mom baby powder. I made the Mango Papaya, the original. I made the Extra Credit Pointillism Challenge Mother's Day soap. I made the Cherry Bomb CP, and that was right after I just made 2 batches of Melt and Pour Cherry Bomb. I made the Perfect Man. That was in March. And I've since made 2 more batches of because that's one of my personal soaps. I always make sure I have enough unscented soap in this house, because if I use nothing else, I'm using that. I made Peachy King. I made 33, which is 33% of everything, you know. I made just a whole bunch of soaps. I made a Mango Bastille. That didn't get sold. I used that for personal use. I made 3 different batches of face soaps for 3 different people. One was a birthday present, and I tailored it directly to her skincare needs. One was for my best friend. I scented it with lavender and peppermint and stuff that her skin likes. No olive oil in that because she's allergic to olives. I made a basic 4. I made good soap. I made just a whole bunch of different soaps. So if you go by what's average and what I did for the summer, I made more soaps in this summer than I did the whole time I've been making co-processed soaps. So that's just, it floored me. It's like, wow, who knew? But that doesn't mean I'm stopping. Tomorrow is Saturday. I'm going to be making a soap. Find your happy place and live it. If you don't know what your happy spot is or what makes you happy, work on that. Ask God to send you your answer. Because, if you had asked me a few years back, hey, how you feel about making soaps? I'd been like, what? But then I had those skin issues, and I started making the Melt and Pour soaps. And the Melt and Pour was getting expensive, just getting the ingredients. And then every time I made some soaps, somebody go, oh, I want some. But it wasn't cost feasible to make Melt and Pour and sell Melt and Pour at the price I'm selling the CP, because I wasn't even making back what I was spending to make that soap. Well, CP soaps, you buy your oils, you buy your lye, you put it with some water, you marry them together, you got soap. Now, what you do with that soap after that is entirely up to you. You can swirl it, you can color it, you can scent it, but basically those 3 constituents make soap. And it makes enough for you and someone else if you want to sell it. So then when you sell it, you know, you have enough to pay your bills and such. So then I found out it wasn't even as important to make soap and have soap in the house that I could actually use as it was to, let's see if I can do this. Let me get this swirl right. I'm going to get this figure eight going. I'm going to do a melt and pour. I'm going to do it in the pot swirl. And I'm having such fun with it that I didn't even realize that I had made that amount of soap. And then I'm sitting here surprised that I have no place to put the soap. Duh. Anyway, enough rambling. This is People7 on Twitter and YouTube. People are elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and you will see pictures of all my soaps. Just keep scrolling. There's a lot of it. And other things that interest me. And you can also buy my soaps at people.etsy.com. And don't forget to rate, comment, stay tuned, stay subscribed, and stay blessed. Bye now.